The word Epiphany is a Greek word which means a manifestation or an appearance. Jesus is recognized even by those from other tribes and nations. We, like the three kings, recognize Jesus in our world of everyday living. God breaks through to us personally. For instance, we have an epiphany in our everyday trials and troubles. If we look for the Lord in them, He will reveal Himself to us in those troubles. He is there if we open up that way of thinking. It is good to be optimistic, but only with the confidence of God's intervention in our troubles and trials. This is what makes us confident and optimistic in life. God will not let us down. It is like training. When we train, we become good at our particular sport or work that we do. We learn by experience and practice and practice. It's the same with our faith. Each day is a practice field where we practice our faith in turning over everything to the Lord and asking the Lord, where are you, even in this simple moment right now? And you'll find the Lord is there. We're celebrating that today as well. We are also celebrating the fact that these three kings, or wise men as we often call them, they came from very, very far away. One came from Ethiopia, another came from Saudi Arabia. All three met up. I'm not sure where the third one came from, but they all met up on their journey looking for God, looking for Christ among us. How did they know? Some people say they were astrologers and they read the signs of the stars in the sky. I have a more different and a more maybe down-to-earth explanation. You remember that the Jewish people are famous for living in other countries. They call it the Diaspora. They live and are scattered all over the world. You'll find the Jewish people. And in those cultures, it's very likely that the people who went to live in other countries and other cultures remained on with their beliefs. And the Jewish people, were always waiting for, and are still waiting for, a Messiah. And the signs were there when it came. And it percolated into the society in which they lived in. And maybe not everybody became Jewish, but those who did certainly were aware of what was happening in the sky and the signs in the sky. So that might be an explanation of why they came from so far away to come and worship and find the child. The question of the star in the sky is very symbolic. The reality of it, I don't know. But the symbolism of it is beautiful. A light, a star. It's the illumination of God into our lives. God showing Himself in the darkness. We only see the stars, basically, when it's dark. And through the darkness, we find the light of the stars. And this star was very prominent, obviously. So here we have a symbolic coming of people from afar, meaning that Christ came for everyone. And we are all included. All of us. As I say, the faith of our fathers have made us to be sitting here or waiting here, watching this video, this presentation of the Mass on the Feast of the Epiphany. Also, we are encouraged today to be welcoming to the stranger. The stranger who comes brings great gifts as well from their cultures and their countries. We also see those three kings kneeling down before a baby Imagine a baby. To know that this baby is not just an ordinary baby. This is God among us who has taken on our human nature. So these are the beautiful thoughts that come out of this beautiful celebration of the Epiphany. Epiphany meaning the manifestation or the appearance of God. Maybe we can take away some thoughts with us from it. I'll give you a few. The message that God has intervened, it has intervened and intervenes in our world. That's the message. God has intervened. He has taken on our human nature. He's continuing to intervene in our lives personally. We have to be open to see God in our lives and in the world. This is through the practice of faith. Faith teaches us to be hopeful, to be joyful, to wait patiently. We may be suffering a bit of impatience now because of the COVID situation, but God is deeply involved and there waiting, and is revealing himself even through that. The signs in the sky, the signs around us of God are plenty. The signs are there, of course, in the sacraments that we receive: confession, Eucharist, baptism. All the signs are there, even in the goodness of people. How God intervenes in our lives through other people. We may be looking for a place in a town and a city, and we meet a person on the street and they say, "Oh, here's how you get there." And we find that they're so welcoming and so helpful. It reminds us of a touch of the divine. The touch of the divine is there all the time, like a star in the sky. The absolute humility of the kings, to be humble before God. And they kings, they were royalty. Now here they are, humbling themselves, giving gifts. They were on a journey. We too are on a journey. And at the end of that journey, we will find God. And we are finding him. And we will arrive at the awesome manifestation of God in our world if we keep to being good. We must be good. We must be holy. We must cultivate a sense of the sacred in our lives. We must have time for God. Pray every day. And do good things for others because of your faith in God. Then God will manifest and is manifesting himself in our lives. May the Lord be with you and let you see his presence now and always. Amen.